Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Nato, and today I have my friend Concrete here.
Hey.
Yeah, we're both very new to streaming. Might be a little awkward here and there, but other than that, we'll get through it today. And our first match for today is... Sorry. The LC Crusaders and the Lexington Misfits. Okay.
All right, so let's see. Here in a second, we'll be able to see what everybody's deciding to play. Let's see. Roadhog Reinhardt, a very popular and interesting choice for Nepal. Let's see. So, yeah. All right, so let's see. Junkrat is definitely an interesting pick, but we'll see how he plays versus this Genji. He'll definitely tell us who's going to get the more value.
Yeah, if this Junkrat can pop off, I mean, the Genji can't do much about it.
Let's see. They're going up top. Oh, well, Hanzo got picked off. It seems like they're going on the Roadhog, trying to melt him down, pushing very aggressive here. And it looks like... Brandy, do you mind telling us which team is on which side right now? Yes, not on the top of... What? Okay, so the Misfits having a very dominant first opening here, playing against the Crusaders. Wrong one? You said the right. Oh.
No way.
For next round, you can put the names as the team names, and it'll show up for us. It's fine.
Oh, rip.
But it seems like the Crusaders have lost the Reinhardt and the Zen to some good picks here. Hanzo on the flank again, but they're not pushing in together.
Yeah, you're up 2 picks right there. You should be able to just walk right in and...
Especially with that dominant role of Zenyatta and Reinhardt being missed. A big anti coming in from, I think, Beater or better. A huge shatter, though. As it seems like the Crusaders are going to kind of pull this fight back.
Yeah, the Crusaders...
It was 60-0.
Yeah, big shatter right there. Being able to do that. The Hog is still behind them. It's going to be a big stagger for the Crusaders right there. The fact that the Hog's going to be coming from spawn later. As the tanks are pushing up trying to confirm that kill, which they do. They switch over to the Monkey. Grab is at their disposal.
He's an interesting pick here, though, trying to jump into that Discord Orb and a Junkrat. Yeah, it seems like ults are starting to stack up with Nanoblade. However, they lose the Winston and the Mercy, going to have to pull back again. And it seems like this is going to be a pretty definitive first round for the Crusaders.
Yeah, there's not
Blade does come out, but without a Nano, and there's really not much you can do 1v6 with a normal Blade, as Crusaders do take the first map of Lijiang.
Yeah, that wasn't a lot that the Misfits could do there in that situation. They just kind of staggered themselves and held ultimates. They couldn't do a lot. So maybe next round they can come back through and clutch it up.
Yeah, it will definitely be a test of who plays the better comp, I guess. Pulling through here as they come into... what was the name of this map? Can't remember. No, Nepal. I mean, what's the point? Is this good?
I think this is Shrine. No.
Yeah, I think this is Shrine. Or Shrine's the inside one. But regardless, being here with the Pharah and Symmetra being definitely an interesting DPS comp. We'll see how the Genji and Hanzo reacts into that.
Yeah, coming out with the Mercy Zen as well for the side of the Crusaders.
Yeah.
I'll switch it back over to the Jug. It looked like the TP was just to get people out of spawn, which was good.
The Misfits are running without a shield tank. Very bold choice. Could pay off with the amount of damage they're going to be able to throw at them.
Yeah, the monkey ball will be very interesting. Just to dive onto that target. Oh, and the monkey goes straight into the back line. Straight into that
and it seems like he's let's see. Ana manages to live, but they do end up losing McDangle and their Mercy. So seems like another decisive fight. But the Zenyatta is picked. However, picks keep going down for the Crusaders. So
and that res goes off, so it looks like everyone's back and they're ready to hold that point. And it looks like the Hog is going to get staggered again for the side of the Misfits.
We'll see. He might be able to make it out. Oh, well, Genji's in there helping him, and seems like he got trapped.
2 huge picks. Yeah, there's not a lot you can do there. That's just unfortunate. Down 3, you just got a full reset.
Are seeming to have a hard time staying grouped as they're pushing up and all alone. But they seem to keep the Zarya up for now. The Winston's dead set on getting that pick there.
Oh, mines go out. A little bit. Oh,
mines and monkey ult. The monkey gets slept. Let's see if he wakes up. Seems like they're doing a good job with discipline, but somebody's trapped again.
Oh.
There's the Genji dying to 5-star. 5-star seems to be popping off right now. With
just
the tank.
Bit, yeah. With that Junkrat.
Yeah. They seem to be holding him in the spawn. Mercy falls again. Roadhog seeming to get staggered again.
There's just not a lot that he can do. I like the pressure that the monkey's giving onto the Ana right there. There's not a lot that she can do whenever she's getting pressured by the monkey. By Winston.
And the res goes off, having the Crusaders having a full team again. Monkey ult comes out, pushing back. Junkrat seems to be face tanking it, maybe going for a tire. I think he's gonna go for a drop tire here. Also, having used Valk, takes Valk out from 9 yards away. That was an interesting tire. Oh, is Blade gonna be used? Let's see.
The trans does come out.
They managed to pull trans and then bladed. Definitely an interesting order of business there. But it seems like from some dominance coming out of the Crusaders side as they come in real hard here with their first round.
Yeah, there was just nothing that the Misfits could do against anything that they were running on the side of the Crusaders. That was just complete another team differential right there.
Team differential, yes.
That was just a team differential.
The Misfits just did not find an answer to the Crusaders' tank line. Trying to run the Shimada Bros into Junkrat is always an adventurous task.
To say the least, yeah, but they also just could not help their supports at all. Their supports kept falling and they kept getting picked off and they couldn't fully regroup, and that's ultimately what kept them from pushing.
Yes, unfortunately, it's pretty hard to play this game without healers, I'd say myself. But it seems like we're going to be getting ready for the next map. Hollywood? Okay, so we're going to go to Hollywood. And then is this going to be a best of 3 or 5? Or possibly could end it right here if they show that same level of dominance here on Hollywood. Although Hollywood's a bit harder to keep your steam rolling as the spawns swapping back and forth really make it an even map. This will be all about team comp and individual skill, to say the least.
Yeah, and if the Crusaders just keep doing their thing, I think they'll just get a quick little sweep right here for the side of the Misfits, unless the Misfits can fix their staggering and just getting picked off early, pretty much.
Yeah.
If they can fix that and regroup and actually have a full fight, then I think they'll be good.
Hey, Brandy. Is there any way to get us into the game? It's a little hard to keep up through Discord. Just going to be honest.
Then we can do it next map.
Alright.
And now we're on to Hollywood.
It's definitely one of my favorite maps in the game, as it does feel the most balanced, as it's not necessarily attacker or defended side, especially on this first point. Both of you have spawns miles away. The point itself is very unforgiving to the defense team, while also giving a very, very limiting choke for the attacking team to push through. So it'll definitely be interesting to see if the Misfits can push through this choke point against what obviously is going to be a Symmetra. Definitely the hardest character to get through in here. Oh, seems like we have a pause. Maybe a DC or so, but what do you think their strategy is going to be here?
I believe that if they can just sim TP up top and just get the drop onto them, I think they'll be able to get some easy picks and then clean up easily from there. But their main objective is to protect their Symmetra so that she can get close and start dealing her damage. They also have the soldier they could just put up top right there and just have them rain down a bunch of damage from up top.
Pause. We might be able to see more of where they're trying to set up here. However, we're going to have to definitely see as pushing into this Symmetra, especially with the Reinhardt. Although they're running Diva versus Ryan Zarya, so they Misfits might have more pushing power here. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, it just depends on how they use the sim TP right here, or if even they might switch back to the Junkrat, get the TP out of spawn, and then do that.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be interesting to see if RKXZ or McDangle, who swapped off of the DPS role here to play Reinhardt. We'll see who's the better rectangle man. Want to see if we get any good shadows going up in here or anything.
Yeah, hopefully that's what I love to see is some good Ryan v Ryan action. But I do know 5-star is a very good DPS player. This whole Crusaders team right here, I just know they're a very good team because I was casting for the big old tournament that we had a few months ago, and I know that 5-star and Zombie Mario and this whole team pretty much was really good, to say the least. So
yeah. Let's see. As we set up here in the spawn, the defense is going to be walking their way towards Zarya, going to the high ground. I wonder if she's just up there to break the fence. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if she'll sit up there though. As okay, 2 for 2. Let's go.
Easy predictions. All
Angle seems to be checking Tinder as he looks down at his phone. Seems to be back into the game, ready to go. As they're holding very far forward. Interesting choice. And that was my bad. I had the attacking and defense side flipped earlier. But the Crusaders pushing in here with V Symmetra, not into D Symmetra, are going to have a lot of pushing power and a lot of mobility. But it seems like McDangle has already fallen.
Yeah,
as they TP to the top. They do lose the mech. And it seems like, and a nice little double kill with one rocket. As they just play cleanup here, and the Crusaders dominantly take first point again.
Yeah.
Going for the stall, but not lasting too long. Zarya down. It seems like this is going to be a pretty defensive first point.
Yeah, they just pushed up way too far right there. They did not play Chug. They did not use the environment to their advantage. They just kind of walked up, got killed, and they lost first point easily.
See, that's the problem with playing that far up. They didn't have anywhere to walk back to. As you see, they're trying to play really aggressive here again. A really good pick, unfortunately, res, but that's a good cooldown that is now counting. Peter falls down.
Huge pick.
And it seems like it's going to be another cleanup, but Reinhardt goes in. Yeah, questionable charge.
Questionable charge there.
The Metro seems to be on the flank, going for the Mercy, and the Ana who are caught off. Once again, the Misfits seeming to struggle to hold their team together without pushing up too far. I wonder how they're going to remedy this. Coming up on some oaths, though.
Yeah, it just seems like the Misfits are just a little lost in their engagements, to say the least. Not the same word or anything. They're on the Hog now. They have Shatter and Dragon. They're about to get
a huge bomb coming in. Is there a Shatter coming with it? No.
Oh, but the bomb
gets got two anyway.
And that's pretty much fight right there, yeah. That's a huge bomb. A beat was used. Questionable beat. Both support
they used both support ults, yeah.
Maybe the beat was definitely not necessary, but the way that they're rolling, I think they got this down pretty much.
Yeah. And it'll definitely be a change as the Symmetra is going to lose some value being here in third point without that many places to just walk down on. Okay. That was either a fat finger or a reload. A lot of ults being used for no apparent reason right now from both sides. A good sleep on the Diva unfortunately didn't go anywhere, but a good shatter coming out from RK as he takes down the Mercy and the Reinhardt, and there's not much Leona can do there. As an again cleanup follows through, the McCree's caught out by himself, seemingly wanting to get respawn.
Yeah,
there.
let's go back to spawn, hit that reset timer.
5 minutes on the Crusaders' side, but Symmetra still on point. What are the Misfits going to do? We have Dragon, Nano, Shatter, and Valk coming out. As a Hoth comes in, but no kill is confirmed. Dragon on point takes out Mercy and Lucio. Seems as if the Misfits are going to... Oh? Visor... Well, 3K, 4K from Zombie, 5K from Zombie. Pulls this back.
Zombie just went crazy right there. Zombie just went crazy. I was like, maybe the Misfits can come back and actually have like a defensive hold, but Zombie just said, nah, I'm good.
That was definitely a strong example of what a Q can do in this video game. Interesting that he managed to take everybody out back there, but we'll see where that develops into.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what the Misfits can do here on offense, because that was a very dominant...
Yeah. I'm interested to see what comp Crusaders is going to run, as both the Crusaders, well, at least I know for a fact the Misfits have swapped over roles from different players, but I'm interested to see with that prominent... Oh, okay, so instead of the Junkrat, they're going to be walking out with Bastion and Torb, the double turrets. It's a good strat from about 3 years ago, so let's see how it runs today.
Might be a little BM.
Intriguing that there's a Bastion on attack as well, with a Hanzo and a Diva. Interesting to see what they're going to do with their Bastion and where he's going to be played. Although we have the good old Brig double shield, so...
Brig double shield, Bastion, Torb, Zen Brig. Oh, lordy.
Oh.
Meta at its finest.
Oh, boy. And they're going to be sitting up top, too.
Yeah.
This will definitely be a show. See, the Bastion play from the attack is not a bad play here, but it seems very mobility limited, as Diva's going to be really the only person on their team equipped to deal with him.
Or the Hanzo, really. But I think the Hanzo's just going to be stuck shooting shields for the rest of the round, honestly, at the rate this is going.
Reinhardt pushing up the point gets away with it, but Mercy seems to die to that turret as the Diva dives up there. Reinhardt is down as well, but the turret falls. Bastion taking the elevator back up, fighting the Diva. It seems like the Crusaders are definitely going to be winning this fight. And the Diva is probably going to get staggered. They're not really focusing her. It seems like she might get out. No, that's going to do it.
That's a huge
Whoa,
stagger.
She went flying. Did you see that?
Yeah, she's in the air.
On a stack. Seeming to stagger herself there. I wonder why 3 people are still, or 2 of them are still in.
Yeah, the Zen Brig is interesting because if they were going to set up top, they should have just gone with probably like a Baptiste instead of the Brig, because the Brig's only good in like face-to-face, brawl type stuff, and double shield is just poke them from a long way away. But the Torb does get picked there.
A nice anti coming out. Torb is picked, but they trade the
Bastion.
Bastion.
On the flank question. Mark? It
seems to get the Mercy anyway, as Brig chases. Reinhardt versus Brig. Let's see who wins. Reinhardt takes it, but unfortunately Diva's out of mech again. Even though they're up picks here, they're not really... Oh, a huge shatter coming in here.
Huge shatter. Getting 2 more, and that should be a cleanup. Straight to point, should be good.
Well, let's see here, as Fortified does not watch his health bar there. It seems as if they're going to pull it back here with a nice molten core on the ground from 5-star.
Yeah, this is a...
The Sigma is picked still, but unfortunately it seems like the rest of the team's here. But a Diva Bomb is coming out against the Orisa Shield. We'll see who it gets.
A huge bomb.
Taking an ult and the turret with it. This should possibly be a good fight to win here. Seeming to struggle to confirm that kill. Bastion's going off with Nano and ult. Seems to kill the turret. Sigma is back, but it seems like it's just going to be your typical cleanup.
Yeah. Very hectic first point right here.
Yeah, definitely a good way to start off the map, as they're going to confirm this point. Crusaders getting ready again up here in the back. It'll be interesting to see where they're going to modify their setup here, being Reinhardt and Sigma instead of your typical Orisa Sigma. Running Bastion Junkrat as well.
The Junkrat spam is probably what 5-star is really good at right here, just pelting them, especially against the Bastion here.
Interesting that they're allowing the Bastion won the duel.
Bastion diff. I'm just that's a bit toxic on my end. Oh, but
a good pin coming in here. Let's see who backs up harder. Oh, he took the health pack.
oh,
Good play there from Fortified. As he but it seems like the backline is getting
what a shatter.
What a shatter.
Flank shatter, clean up, nice.
These are Crusaders for a team that plays as good as they do. Not very keen on communication there, because Reinhardt was back there for a good 30 seconds, fighting somebody else. So we'll see if that comes to bite them in the butt later, as we reset up on point with one shield versus a double shield enemy Bastion. Definitely an interesting play, but maybe a little bit strategical, canceling out the Bastion. You see he's over there on the right, out by himself. Both teams seem very unconventional in their team fights.
The Junkrat's pushing up 1v2 or 2v3 really. I mean,
Junkrat seems to take out both DPS on his own.
Oh, there's
Sigma pulling the ult out, and that seems that's going to be the end of this fight as well. As Mercy falls, the Brig is picked by Fortified Hat, but he falls as well, and this fight is over.
Yeah, I feel like that the Crusaders here are just kind of BMing a little bit. Just a
little. It seems to definitely be a fight of comp versus mechanics for these two teams. Bastion's dueling it out in recon mode. Once again, we're seeing the overcommitment issues of Misfits as Bastion pushes them all the way by himself. Nano does come out, and so does Tyre, taking out the Mercy. Misfits already down 2 in an already lost fight.
Bomb is committed,
Bomb committed. We'll see if it gets another pick. Gets 2. A huge pick as well on a healer and their Bastion, but we'll see. It seems as if they were alone, and that fight is easily cleaned up by the Crusaders.
Yeah, it just seems like the Crusaders are just having their fun at this point against the Misfits. Dragon is used, and
Sigma does fall, and so does...
And Zen. This is huge.
It seems like their chillax nature is starting to bite them and bite him up a little bit, because here comes Junkrat trying to hold the point by himself, only on 100 health as Mercy comes and gets him. The Zenyatta is rezzed close to Trank. This might be a distinctive fight here again. Somebody gets trapped right in front of this Junkrat. Hanzo seems to make it out alive, but barely, as Mercy is low as well.
And yeah, the Junkrat in the back line, just getting back there. And I think that's another cleanup for the side of the Crusaders.
I wonder if they just don't have a player who does it, but it seems interesting that the Crusaders haven't, the Misfits, haven't pulled out a McCree here. Playing against what they're playing into, I mean, being able to get that good flashbang on your Reinhardt, or even stunning this Bastion once seems to be a little bit more beneficial than just Junkrat spam here.
Slightly, it just depends.
Hanzo spam, sorry.
I think that might just be. Oh, what a block.
Huge block from RK.
And Zombie Mario is just cleaning up with the Bastion here.
Seems that with 8 seconds left, almost gets crushed as D.Va is on the mech. Ana seeming to fall down. 5-star, gonna be all up to this D.Va to push it the rest of the way. We'll see what happens as she's off the point. Will she touch again in time? Yes. She had the Junkrat ult, which is interesting, and decided to leave all those ults unused. But yet another definitive map from the Crusaders as they play cleanup. Fortified Hat giving it everything he can. The Mercy coming in, but Tyre has been popped.
Not a lot she can do in that situation against the Tyre.
And that seems to be the first set. With Crusaders being the winners from a 2-0. Very, very impressive first set coming out from Crusaders.
Yeah, it just looked like the Crusaders were on a completely different level compared to the Misfits right there. Not a lot that they could counter. Oh, wow. So that was
flank shatter.
Flank shatter from the top bins.
I will say, from the Crusaders side, it does really seem like their star players are RK and
5-star.
5-star, yes. I was looking for his name. RK and 5-star really seem to be the star players here, as they were the ones making the most plays here. That Reinhardt was very dominant, and the DPS coming up from 5-star seemed to be good from the entire set. So I assume we'll be moving into the next team versus Crusaders.
All right, gotcha. We'll be back shortly. Oh. So yeah, the next
match is going to be against the Central Wildcats and the LC. What did you say? I'm sorry. Brenlin. What? LC Adrenaline. And we'll be right back.
And welcome back, everybody.
After a little bit of a scuffed beginning, we're back in, ready to start back on the Paul. This time with the Central Wildcats versus the LC Adrenaline, with Zombie from the last match subbing in for us here.
Yeah, there was a few difficulties with getting players and subbing, and Zombie stepped up and he was like, "Yeah, I'll play." So he's playing.
So he's in. As we see everybody's team comps coming in. Let's see. So we have a Bastion and the Soldier coming out. Definitely an interesting choice.
And then we got double shield on the other side over there with the Ryan Orisa with the Mercy Bap. I really like the comp for which side is red?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out as well. I believe red is...
Yeah, the Adrenaline.
Red's definitely the Adrenaline as they're coming in here. We're going to see Turret in main. Definitely an interesting choice as...
The Wildcats get to point first. Yeah. They have to push up here with the Ryans. Oh, Inmore is popped very early.
Bastion sitting up in the back as a pin comes in. Interesting choice versus Zenyatta and Bastion.
Absolutely melted right there as a Shoy Blast also goes down. It looks
Central aiming to take over here as Adrenaline has to back up. I don't foresee Reaper Torb. Oh, yeah, Reaper swapping into the Hanzo as a pin comes in. Orisa picked before a fight could even start. It seems like they're pushing up here to go ahead and confirm some more kills as they take down Wolfboy and the Reinhardt here. Rez is popped, but instantly the Mercy is picked off by the Lucio.
Yeah, it looks like the Adrenaline are just kind of getting held in spawn here. The Lucio is trying to there's a interesting interaction with the Torb and the Lucio.
Okay. Well, Immort popped right here in the middle already. Shield busted. It seems like similar to our last team, our last match, the Adrenaline
popping off in their backline right now.
No McCree or Brig to stun him. Lucio's kind of free to go ham. Window popped out of a fight. That's an interesting choice. As Bastion just sits here on point, hammering away. Ults are coming up here soon. With Zombie already picked off. Reinhardt's on point, 1v5 right now. He gets picked, but Trans and Ult's coming out left and right. Visor gets Hanzo and Bap. Will he get a third? It seems like no, but 3 ults were used there, as it still seems to be relatively stable. Adrenaline being down here. But with the Mercy falling, they're going to have to pull out. Orisa trying to run away to her best of her ability, gets picked off as well, and Torb once again taken by Chillfish. A very, very dominant performance coming out of Central here, as Bastion sits in Dragon.
Bastion does die here, which could be dead. Huge. The Shatter is here.
A flanking Roadhog is going and killing Wolfboy, and it seems like that's going to be a definite first point for the Wildcats. A very aggressive team with an interesting comp choice. How do you think Adrenaline could come back from?
I think the Adrenaline just need to be a little more aware of their situations, and their Ryan needs to stop pinning in personally. Not to be toxic or anything like that, but the Ryan pinning in did kind of put the Adrenaline at a disadvantage, because once the Ryan's in, there's not a lot that he can do pushing power-wise, because there's no shield in front of them. There's a Bastion as well, so that doesn't help them. But it's very interesting how the Wildcats used Lucio Zen, and they still had enough healing to keep everyone alive.
Well, it seems like a lack of focus fire coming out of Adrenaline is going to be our main culprit here, as the lowest healing in the game. However, a lot of damage output here, coming from a Soldier and a Bastion with a Discord Orb, Hog with a Discord Orb, but very, very dangerous. As the Hanzo...
Plus speed.
Oh. Yeah. Hanzo seems to be taking high ground by himself, going on a flank here. Both teams taking low ground, a very interesting choice. Hanzo seems to go for a tank kill here instead of deleting the Bastion. It was an interesting choice. Chillfish still in the background, throwing Reinhardt around like nothing, as it seems like Central might... Oh, but
it does go down.
Coming out.
Diva D-Mac.
It is
Hog got
captured
first.
by Central. However, it seems to be a pretty even fight here. Hog taking out the healer, but it seems to be a 3v1. And
Looks
with
like the
K-Fog
Adrenaline
falling, the point's going to be flipped back here. Oh, seems like Chillfish
Fish is in that back line farming these supports right now. He is going for it right now.
seems like he's hiding he's about to 1v1 the Baptiste. Baptiste already rocking a heal, and now Zenyatta being spawn camped again by Chillfish. We'll see who wins. Adrenaline just not taking care of their backline, but somehow still holding strong here.
Nah, they're down a bunch right here, and it looks like they're just going to be...
Another pin coming out from both Reinhardts, actually, as they fight for control of the point. 2 tanks on. No shatter from either side yet.
I think Fish is doing an amazing job right now distracting the supports from spawn, because the Baptiste did not even like get a chance to get into that fight right there because he was too busy trying to figure out where the Lucio was.
Yeah, and it's very interesting that they're running such a weak main tank comp versus Central here, as they're running Devo Reinhardt into Reinhardt Roadhog. A very interesting combo. Nobody taking Raiden off the high ground. He gets 2, runs back to the point for some support. A big shatter coming out of your mom.
Big shatter out of your mom right there.
Right down. Central takes back over the point. Oh, but
Samimura does get hit by the last little bit of Torb's ultimate right there. And
walk back into it on accident. They're pushing forward here. Already down the Reinhardt, puts them down on a very severe disadvantage. Seems like Adrenaline's Reinhardt just takes down Roadhog, and they're getting picks here and there, but
Fish
is in the back line again.
Oh, huge shatter. Oh, he cancels
beat on, and shatters him on the Motordom. Seems like they're going to flip it back. A very questionable window, maybe just to secure the fight. Advisor, even more questionable, as he stands up top with the Zenyatta sitting there with him. Interesting that they chose at these moments to pull their ults out here, but their team is back, minus the Bastion, which is holding back a little bit. We'll see if they can manage to deal with all of the spam damage. It seems like Fish has picked him off again, and here comes the Bastion ult. But Immor has already been popped. Reinhardt digging into the backline by himself, but Roadhog does fall down.
There is this Junkrat from H2O up top right now. That should bring a lot of damage that'll help them try and take care of this Lucio Zen healing combo they've got. They can't out-heal Junkrat very well.
Yeah, Adrenaline seeming to pull almost out of nowhere this ability to play together as a team in focus fire, really starting to give Central a run for their money. As Central starts to play a little bit more sporadic, as you can tell.
Immor was used, and
Window used just off of seeing one person. Seems like Adrenaline's ult economy is needs some work, but they seem to hold the point.
Respect it, and they're just like, we're just gonna wait it out, which is good.
Okay, he's going to be pushing in the middle. He misses the one shot on the Baptiste as he manages to come back to point with Torbolt on there, with the turret sitting in the back. A big charge coming in. Does actually get Zen. With 3 coming out. This could be a very equal fight here. It might come down to who can build an ultimate here.
Ryan does go down.
Pulls it out, but here comes another immortality field with a huge Roadhog ult, but he wasn't touched the point. They have 2 picks, and oh man, I'm laughing so hard. They could have touched the point there, and they didn't.
That's just unfortunate right there. Very interesting display of gameplay and strategy right here.
Very both teams seem to like to waste abilities, so we'll see who wastes one first. Seems to be the winning factors here. They seem to be keeping the same comps here. The D.Va might see some more success, although the Torbjorn is really going to be showing here. An interesting swap over to the Orisa instead of and a Pharah instead of their previous Reinhardt and I believe Junkrat.
Yes.
But Central coming out with the same team comp is going to be pushing in here together. We'll see. What do you think is going to come out of this first fight?
I think Fish is just going to go crazy on the Lucio on this point and try to get a couple boops off.
This is the deciding factor. A lot of pressure is on Central right now. If they can pull through here, and they'll have their well, they'll get Hollywood anyway. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, but the
But
BAP and the Mercy go down instantly right there. There's not a lot that they can do there. There's no supports, and I think this is just going to be a free fight.
They let Bastion sit there and melt down their supports as they stood out in the open. They lost point presence, didn't push hard enough, and now that's going to be.
And supposedly Hog is very annoying.
Yes, Wolf Boy wanted to let all of us know that as he runs away. Diva trying to get a pick here actually falls out of mech. Not very good for the attacking side, but Bastion is now dead to the Pharah. He'll be a long way back. Torbjorn peeking in the middle. Interesting turret placement, but a huge pick is coming out from H2O Blast here. 4 only on point. Miva mech back. This should be a decisive fight. It'll come down to ults, though. With Zombie only on 42 being pummeled back. Don't really know what booped him there, but he missed the one shot on Mercy again, but Mercy does fall. Immor and Visor coming out here. Big boop coming from H2O Blast. A very indecisive fight so far that could be swapped from any picks.
But the Orisa does go down, and the Reinhardt is still alive, so the shield presence might just be better. Diva does get demeched and insta-killed right there.
Oh, he doesn't capture the point.
He doesn't capture the point.
However, huge pot. Nope. Dang. Good, strong comeback here from Central Wildcats, not letting the overwhelming damage from Adrenaline coming out. I think this might be a Reinhardt difference here. I don't know if the Orisa is necessarily doing what they're hoping that she could accomplish here.
Yeah, they think that the extra damage might have helped there, but I think the fact that the Ryan shield is doing too much. Oh, and the Shatter comes through.
Coming out from Zombie here as he just kind of walks on through.
Yeah, Zombie.
Good counter from Pharah here, but unfortunately she doesn't land that third rocket. Soldier does get his health off and manages to make it out. Interesting choice, but he manages to pick the Baptiste. Is actually huge.
Oh, but Zombie Mario's very weak right now. There's not a lot he can do right here. He might just end up dying here.
Low. They're not necessarily. He died to the.
There are no healers. Yeah.
Let's see. Are they going to touch point? As there's only a Roadhog on there, but a soldier hammering down from far away, as he seems to back up here with.
Oh, but H2O Blast does get
Central coming back. And H2O Blast does confirm that kill, but the Roadhog's already back on the point. Walking back there. Immor pulled for, and Window on an already won fight. Here comes Visor taking out H2O Blast from the sky. They have some back here. Interesting pin coming from there. Another Window, rezzing in front of the window. We'll see as ults are being used. Diva is, in fact, out of mech here. They're going to need to deal with that Bastion in the back if they want to possibly take this back here. Chillfish already has another kill and beat coming out.
They just
definitely going to save their tank line from this. Huge shatter from their Reinhardt, and that might be the deciding factor here. As they still have not dealt with either of the DPS, just sitting there building up their ultimates. They do have Bastion to commit here.
Oh, but 2 are down. The Ryan and the Bap are down.
Sitting in the middle, trying to res in front of a soldier after already being shot 4 times. Roadhog comes in with his ult, trying to get the point here, being eaten most by their Diva. Seems to get a good bit of ult progress here as there's 2 on. They do seem to flip the point. And is anybody going to touch? Tor might not even be able to.
Oh, but the Diva touches.
Huge Diva bomb here as Roadhog hooks it to himself. Kills Immor. Pops his ult here. Huge ult coming out here. But
he does get booped.
Ults are popping out. We'll see who seems to come out here on top. It seems like Adrenaline is pulling out from a very chaotic fight.
A lot of these fights have been very, very chaotic.
We decided to pop Bastion ult there. I wonder if he'll get 6 kills.
Maybe.
You never. Oh, well,
Window does get popped in front of the turret. That's a lot of damage right there. I would not even challenge that.
A windowed turret killing a Bastion ult. Gotta say, I don't think I've ever seen that one happen. But we see Roadhog coming in here for some good old long range attacks. But Soldier trying to get his high ground back. Pushing in there. Adrenaline's fighting very good here as a team, holding very strong. But here comes in the pin, and the Immor. Is Zombie going to be melted? Huge shatter coming through, not blocked by the opposing Reinhardt. And that seems like that's going to be it, folks.
That was a huge shatter. Good ultimate usage.
Huge fights from both sides of the team. Honestly, second map could go to anybody.
Yeah. This map was extremely chaotic. It was very, very chaotic.
I can tell.
Red Blazer X. That's Tor. Going actually insane.
Oh? Okay.
So yeah, the next map will be Hollywood. and I'm very curious to see who will steal this next map.
You see, our last match also ended on Hollywood, so I'll be interested to see if Adrenaline can pull it back. They do seem to be very good on the aggressive walking forward and attacking, but it seems like they certain ultimate choices are what's holding them back, and Central really took advantage of that there at the end. A window would have been massive with that Reinhardt having to walk all the way across the point with where they were all held up together, so it'll be interesting to see what they're going to allow to pick here.
Yeah, I'm split right now because honestly, anyone could take these two. Next map or the map after that if we go to a map 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
So as we swap the map over here to Hollywood, I wonder, do we know who's going to be on defense first?
I think it's going to be Wildcats.
Well, with the Wildcats sitting here on defense, I wonder what they're going to pull out here.
I wouldn't be shocked by a Bastion. I would not be shocked by a Torb.
Yeah, maybe both. Or they might pull out a Symmetra here.
Guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't blame you, Brady. You are trying.
All the way from where I spawned in, so we know that there's probably going to be one of those, but that wouldn't be a shock. Cade Fox really had a good bit of value going in there on the Roadhog. Missed quite a lot of one-shots, but still managed to pull them into the team, and they're from there
clean up. Yeah, basically, I just think the Wildcats have this. I think the chaotic factor of Fish being in the back line causing so much havoc. I don't think the Crusaders know how to handle with that type of pressure.
Well, pulling out here with the Orisa Hog on attack is definitely a very interesting approach here, but they've seemed to learn from their mistakes, knowing that Chillfish is going to be on that Lucio. Pulling out this McCree and Genji as an opposing to that might actually help, with Genji being able to just kind of laser down some damage and Kree being able to flash him, of course. They seem to be setting up, again, very, very far up front. A very interesting tactic we saw from the last team as well. As, we'll see.
They are in their spawn.
Yeah. Adrenaline pushing quite far up. It seems like Fish is already in the backline, ready to terrorize this poor Mercy player. Seems completely unaware, but decides to dip. I guess he's going to go after this McCree.
Itmore is popped immediately.
The fight starts over here in this corner as Genji tries to attack this Bastion in Soldier, already in their backline. A very interesting approach here, as there's only 4 people in front of the team right now, but McCree does end up falling. But the res instantly comes out. Bastion setting up in front of the team instantly gets hooked and killed by the Roadhog. Swapping around, Bastion is dead, but the Genji seems to be getting in there, making some good space as he picks the Reinhardt. We're going to pressure on this Soldier as they seem to push the point already, getting some capture progress as Fish and H2O Blast kind of duel it out here with Cade Fox.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very interesting strategy from the Wildcats right there to be hiding on the stairwell. I don't know how effective that was, but definitely worth a shot.
Well, Fish manages to make it out alive after Roadhog misses a point-blank shot on him. He's still hiding behind the car, waiting for the enemy team to notice as Roadhog goes back again for another duel. Gets the one-shot this time as Bap and Genji are really trying to hold this pressure off. Reinhardt falls again as this Red Blaze seems to really be making some pressure here. Yeah, Ballsy res coming up for this Mercy as Cade Fox is up top. Gonna go in for another hook on this Genji. Misses the one-shot as well, but the Genji seems to be applying a lot of pressure. Will Cade Fox make it out here? Doesn't seem as it with that flashbang. And Adrenaline needs to be playing more aggressive here. They're already up 1 pick.
Yeah, the fact that they're getting these staggers right now is actually huge for their push progress because, oh no, the Ryan's going in. They need to just get out of there now, Zombie Mario.
Yeah. It seems like H2O Blast really chasing this Reinhardt back into his spawn with a Roadhog responding. He decides to back up, takes the Fire Strike, giving Mario a shatter. Will he go for it this fight? Would be very interesting as the Visor
Yeah.
goes up top. Huge shatter coming out, but Visor's nowhere to be seen as he's sitting up top just applying normal pressure.
Oh, but there's two from Cade right there.
McCree
Genji's
going up to
deflecting.
the
They
top.
just have
Who's
to
going to win
back
this
up.
fight? Right click comes late, does not get the flashbang right click kill. Soldier healing himself up top, shooting down on H2O Blast. Who's going to win this fight? H2O Blast going back up for seconds, gets another chance, misses again, and falls to Raiden.
But the BAP is challenging the Soldier right there. Genji and BAP are above. But the BAP does go down at the end.
Zombie Mario, as they have to play here very, very carefully. It seems like they're letting, even though they have the Roadhog hook and Genji dash, they're letting Soldier just sit up top and really hammer down on them and just.
And there is a fight in the back line with Fish.
Yeah.
Fish is just in their back line. They are. The Adrenaline are just staggering their brains out right now. They're just not regrouping.
You really need to make a group up here and try to make a play as Fish is already back on their supports again. All the way in their team with Reinhardt pushed up very, very far. Immor already pops out before they're even close.
Oh, but
Reinhardt dies to
Mario
a deflected. But, oh. It seems like that's going to be another defensive fight for the Wildcats. But a huge res comes out, still has a pick. Soldier is in fact dead with High Noon up top. Going for it. Is he going to get the Bastion?
Ooh.
He does. Coming up behind him is Chill Fish, but all he has is Void Knight to worry about. Besides that, with him falling down as well, seems like the Adrenaline have taken this fight back and are going to get closer to third point. But Fish manages to make it out again.
Yeah, Fish is a very good Lucio.
Yeah, very, very much showing off his current skills. Instantly tries to boop Kree off, and then Kree walks off instead. Soldier getting that high ground again. Very, very strong place for Soldier to sit. McCree dead set on killing this Soldier. Doesn't
but Soldier on the flank? Oh, that's a huge kill right there.
Both heals. And seems to take a tank ad down with him, but doesn't get the kill finally. Finally, Red Blazer does go up there to kill him, but a little bit too late as he has to pull out as this fight's over. Beat popped for seemingly no reason. Maybe as the Wildcats did to them, the Adrenaline could come in and make advantage of that being gone with Blade.
Yeah, the fact that they just used Beat there was a very hard miscommunication.
But
I don't know if he was trying to get the stat or what.
Soldier back on the high ground seems to already be having pressure put on him as he has a Lucio up there as well. But Genji and BAP taking this fight. Both healers are up top, leaving.
Oh, but your mom does pass. Oh, there's the Blade.
Dashes
away.
Oh.
And then challenging a Reinhardt. Interesting Blade.
Not a lot of value, probably as much as they would have wanted there with both support ults down. Speaking of which, Void Knight already 70 back to his ultimate. Bastion ult up, and Raiden already back up to 40.
Yeah.
Immor was used in their spawn. Again, just Adrenaline showing a misunderstanding of when to use their cooldowns here, as Raiden just hammers down from up top.
Yeah, Raiden's got full control of the high ground right now. Oh, but H2O is up there, misses the flashbang. Raiden has no idea that he's still up there.
Here comes the Lucio, probably going to turn the tide of that possible fight with a Doomfist coming out from Red. We'll see if that
Red with the Doomfist.
Soldier still up top with a dominant performance here, as it seems like they're not communicating because Del Sol is still pushing in the middle, and they're falling apart again. Still not pushing as that team that we saw on Nepal.
You got the Doom going up top, and you've got the Mercy and the Hog going over to the right. They're all just split right now. Mercy does get picked off. Missing the flashbang.
Once again, misses the flashbang as Soldier just stands up there with all that dominance. High Noon does pick the Bastion, but with Immor up, it doesn't seem like much else is going to happen. With 15 seconds left, a play has to be made here with Ball coming out instead of the Roadhog. Soldier still up top. Their push up into their spawn.
But Fish does go down, but that's a huge whole hog to try and push them all away.
A huge whole hog and a Visor are definitely going to keep the team away from touching point. And Adrenaline is looking at a full hold or only halfway through second.
Yeah, that was a very interesting hold from the Wildcats right there. All they had to really do is just keep picking off people, and the Adrenaline just could not get their ground together to push the team.
Yeah, the Adrenaline seemingly afraid to play more than just what they, start the map on. I'm interested to see why neither team is making comp changes and just waiting until somebody pops off. I would have loved to see, like, a Symmetra there, maybe teleport behind the Bastion or behind their whole team if they're gonna push up that far, or maybe, Hanzo to break that shield or something. But they're well, speak of the devil, here comes a Symmetra coming out of Adrenaline over here, and we
Yeah,
have Central still running again. Bastion on attack again, just like last time.
they're sticking true to this composition they have with the Lucio Zen, the Reinhog, and then the Soldier Bastion, regardless of map
Be
or
interesting.
typing.
I'd be interested to learn as to why they haven't put Wolf, or I think it's probably Gaby or Gaby, something like that. Putting, why they haven't put either one of them on that Ana with Red showing some dominance on the Genji and being able to get in and out. Why they haven't ran something more centered towards picking off these targets.
Yeah, because I mean, if he could get that Nano Blade in the backline, there's nothing they can do about that. Beat trans at the same time. 2 ults for 2
Teleporter's
ults.
right out in the open. I wonder if they'll be able to melt that down. Doomfist already having to back up, and so is Symmetra from the pressure this Bastion is placing. A turret not being broken by Cade Fox, having to drop shield for it. A hook is missed, but not by Cade Fox. As
Oh, but your mom
already
dropped.
picked.
Oh, the Doom is in.
But gets in and applies some pressure. Soldier already in the backline going to get some picks. Kills the Mercy.
Oh, there are
As
trades
Bap
back
and
and
Doom
forth.
are both in that little room. They have to go and pick off the Soldier, otherwise it's going to apply too much pressure. Roadhog walking around, going for that one shot. Gets punched out of it. Decides to commit to killing the Soldier, but doesn't manage to do so as he pulls out. 2 people still on the flank here. Emor is used to save Bap alone in the hallway. Nobody doing anything about this Bastion sitting open up in the middle. Seems like Central's definitely going to be able to take this first point.
Yeah, this whole fight, this whole first point here was just back and forth fighting right here until the Wildcats were able to just start cleaning up and staying alive.
A really bad stall from Del Sol coming out here.
Yeah.
She's going to have several seconds to respawn and then a very, very long way to walk. Symmetra and them all the way in the back. Doomfist trying to go in anyway, maybe try to get some value. Seems to be slightly working as he does make it out alive, but still in their spawn, holding strong on trying to disrupt this point.
He's very close to that meteor strike.
Still no shatter coming out of
should be going straight onto that Bastion right there where the Zen is.
either team.
I think he just used it to get out. Yeah.
Zombie does have his shatter ready for this next fight. Well, I wonder if Adrenaline's Reinhardt is really going to understand and be able to counter it, or if this is going to be as easy second fight as well. Oh, it seems like the DPS of Adrenaline
was committed.
Getting 3
Yeah.
picks with 2 only on cart. Adrenaline should be able to push here, but your mom is pushing by himself with no supports, trying to 1v1 a Bastion. Not always the best choice. A Reinhardt behind him still has shatter, mind you, but has decided not to use it. Is asleep on the ground, woken back a lot up, I think, by the Reinhardt. Beat is pulled out here, and so is shatter. Gets 2. Reinhardt is going to fall here with his own shatter ready. Soldier visoring up top is going to get Ana and probably Del Sol here.
And Del Sol dies. Doom has to get out. There's nothing he can do in that situation.
And bomb up for Wildcats. I wonder how they're going to try and use their tank ults here to change the speed of the fight. The Soldier gains that high ground again, as we've seen him do for the entire map. Your mom solo shatters a Zenyatta. And
passes away, unfortunately.
passes
Doom
away.
does come in. They're up to, they commit Bongo as well.
Commit Bongo in an already won fight, a trend we're starting to see again, but it seems like this is going to be a definitively won fight with Bastion sitting in the background.
There's a Bastion just sitting on the Mega.
On the Mega, holding Ana in spot. Speaking of Ana, there she is, that dominant role of being able to anti and sleep your targets coming back out from the side of Adrenaline here. A 1v1 where the BAP wins. BAP is a support hero, by the way. Although GB does fall down, and Ball holding point 1v1 versus a Reinhardt. Shatter never seemed to is seeming to be built. Sorry, again, as Immor is already gone, a dominance coming from Central as they seem to play pickup here. And unless somebody makes a play, it seems as if this is going to be a pretty definitive thing.
Oh, he does get the touch.
And
Trans
then I
does
think
get
he got
out,
moved
and then
off.
yeah.
And with Trans, Central does in fact win this match.
I think Central's winning component here was just how chaotic they play.
Yeah, definitely got in the face of Adrenaline, and Adrenaline didn't really seem to have an answer even when they got this McCree. Those flashbangs weren't really going out all the way, and the right clicks.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's just that simple, I guess. 14 objective kills coming out from the test boy with the T in the
And then 35 elims for Fish right there. Definitely put it in that role of I'm in your back line. What are you gonna do about it?
Lucio coming out strong, but if I do remember correctly, that should have been our last match, right? Two very dominant performances coming out from both teams we saw today, and both seem to be pretty one-sided.
I think this one was a little closer, but it was definitely a lot more just chaotic, this match.
Yeah. So with no third map, I do believe that is it.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a quick intermission, and we'll be right back.
Just to confirm everything.
Welcome back, guys. So this actually wasn't the last map. I was wrong. We're going to Dorado for a point differential to see who gets that third point. Both teams did want to play it out. Interesting point to be made, Tyler. It seems as if Dorado is a nice medium map in between Nepal and the likes of Hollywood. So how do you think that this one's going to play out?
Honestly, with how both of these teams are playing, I would be very shocked if either like I think the Wildcats got this from their chaotic nature.
I see what you're saying. I mean, again, Wildcat seems to really love this one comp. I mean, I guess if it's working, why change it? But this is going to be an interesting, a harder task to pull off on this map, being on defense with this kind of thing. Because the second that Orisa shield, or sorry, the Ryan shield is gone, you're kind of just sitting out in the open. You know, it's kind of how this map works. It seems like Fish is already in their spawn, going on the flank, making eye contact with H2O Blast, who I don't think noticed or hasn't heard yet. But
Hey, Fish is already in their spawn, and I really do think that
they have a very interesting setup, deciding to play on the low ground, popping Immor off the gate, 2 feet away from spawn. Barrier's already down with the Bastion holding her almost no damage done to the enemy Rhino shield. Interesting pin coming in as he pins right behind a Bastion who doesn't turn around, dies to the Zarya. Seeming as if the backline of the Wildcats are falling apart. A hook on the Pharah does not seem to land a kill as Roadhog is in the middle of the back of their team. And so is Fish, still terrorizing this poor McCree player.
Yeah,
They're holding on and stalling for a very, very long time, letting the rest of their team group up. But it seems to be in vain as, well,
I'm just watching this Lucio right now just terrorize the back line.
Yeah, I was trying to fill my sentences up there with words, but there's only so much I could say about a fight.
Yeah, this
Raiden makes it out again. Raiden makes it out again, just has to come back for that high ground. Probably going to try to get a pick on this anybody who's left back there. Seems to go back for this window. A big res coming out in front of a Reinhardt and a ball, as seems to be the only front line here. Still nobody dealing with Raiden's soldier, as he's just already 56 up to his ultimate, sitting in that back line with Fish. I don't think has died yet.
No, Fish is about to get that beat just from shooting them in the back.
Almost no healing coming out. Roadhog probably has silver healing, but hey, it's working, as Raiden still manages to live in the back line. Probably going to get a pickup here on this Baptiste. Oh, as he runs farther into the back. Bastion set back up with a shield in front of him, but they don't touch the point.
They give up
so hard.
They don't. Very interesting plays, but it looks like they're going to be able to kill them all in their spawn. Heinun is committed. Gets nobody.
No kills, but it seems like Bap has some people low. Soldier pushing our McCree here with a Lucio in the back. That's definitely going to be a lost 1v1. RK, seemingly the one to make the plays here, decides to grab with DPS
with
dead
window.
Here. Pops window, does actually get a kill on Soldier. Cancel it. Huge shatter coming out from Del Sol here as they take the Reinhardt, but will they be able to deal with this ball here in the back that's going to be stalling them here in a second?
They just committed 3 ults, and they're still contesting. This is very chaotic right now.
Yeah. As a ball manages to almost make it out and comes right back in, rolls out with a little bit of a thing. Seems to not know if he wants to commit or not. For some reason, Immortality's popped once again. Wolf not seeming to value that 30-second cooldown. Fish still alive.
Fish is just
distracts.
Fish is all over their backline right now.
Bap instantly falling to the shatter and Pharah falling soon after. It's a massacre as zombies just swinging like crazy. 3 still alive on the side of the Adrenaline. Mines are procced here, but seems to not have a kill yet, and Mercy Light. Del Sol really needing to pull out of this fight here. It actually seems to hear me, so that worked.
Yeah.
No shield. Only 37 back. We pulled Trans here, which was an interesting pick. This team does not seem to want to commit and just collapse on one person, as Zenyatta just walked out of their team. Soldier still holding here up top. Pharah 1v1ing him. Who's going to win this battle? They both had to reload as one runs away. Pharah seems to give up as Reinhardt still terrorizes their backline.
There is nobody contesting this Lucio right now. I'm just sitting here watching this guy, and nobody's doing anything about him. You take care of the Lucio, I think you can win this. But
I
they're
really do
just
think that Fish is the differential here, as every time Adrenaline gets a fight to go and push up against them, they seem to have some progress, and then just the fact that we got some good old BM coming out of Fish there with some why
Fitch
are you so
is
angry teabags. Bat stalling himself, trying to take that fight there instead of letting himself just die or running back to spawn. Farrah seems to think that she's going to take this 1v1, trying to pick off that Zenyatta, but it doesn't seem to be working out. But she manages to get out relatively unscathed. Mercy seeming to have a hard time
no.
staying
Oh,
alive.
Fish just followed your mom, and just wow. I just there's so much happening right now. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Oh, huge grab coming out with a big pin.
Good beat.
Kainoon comes out, but he instantly dies to the
Bastion in the very
Bastion
back.
sitting in the back, and Beat manages to help him restabilize. But what does he get any picks here? The barrage comes out and does a lot of damage, but doesn't seem to land any kills as the res does come back out. Immor is popped, but against his visor, it doesn't seem to be doing much as they pop it instantly. Farrah coming back alive, Mercy holding on with that dear life as they just let Lucio walk into their team and kill her. The DPS seemingly not interested in killing Lucio on point. As Baptiste is having to run away as well, as both of the enemy's healers are in their team. It's still managing to stay alive.
This Lucio is dominating their backline right now. There's no one is doing a single thing about him. He is tank. He is the tank.
Yeah,
This
he is the third tank in this equation here. As the ball comes in again, popping ult.
Gets 2 with the mines.
2 instantly. That's going to be another said and done fight. Seemingly the same as on Hollywood.
Fish is doing
just cannot manage to deal with these people. Once Wildcats were they lost that one fight, and Adrenaline had some good momentum going there. But once they had the ability to sit down and just point, it seems to be pretty said and done from there.
Oh, huge shatter!
A huge shatter coming out, but can he pick the right target? Instant.
Oh, an even bigger shatter comes through.
Coming out from Zombie here.
The Orisa won. Orisa falls. There's a Reaper on point.
And with only 5 seconds left here, seems like that's going to be a pretty said and done round by the Wildcats. Once again, hammering down, but somebody is on the point. Does prop overtime. Orisa holding in for dear life, but I don't think that she's going to be able to last much longer. And the Reinhardt falls as well, and that is round 1.
Fish just went on a 17 streak right there.
17?
17.
He's going off.
No one's dealing with the Lucy on the back line.
It's interesting that they won't just pull that Roadhog back out, or I think the McCree might be, unfortunately, on controller heading against a bunch of PC players right now. But they need to put this McCree role on somebody who really can shut down the speed and agility of Chillfish here, because Fish is really being the deciding factor. Zombie has made some good plays, and Cade Fox has made some good picks, and Raiden has been picking the right places to stay. But really, at the end of the day, the combination of the Bastion just sitting in the back line and doing nothing, like being able to just sit there and have nothing done to him, as well as this dominant performance coming from Fish, it's almost impossible for Adrenaline to seem like they can even keep up.
Adrenaline just needs to focus the Lucio that's shooting their Reinhardt and Zarya. And then I think they'll be able to do something with that. It's just right now, they're doing absolutely nothing to stop either the Lucio or the Bastion. And I think that's the deciding factor here.
I definitely agree. Is that we're seeming like we're going to have Adrenaline take the high ground and oppose to what we saw here. Never mind, as they push up. I wonder if they're going to hold right here on this corner, or if they're going to try and get too greedy and push forward. Really, with the soldier that's going to be coming on their backline here and Bastion sitting in the middle, they can't really afford to try to do the same strategy. Already having Immor popped here is not the best hope, being in spawn like this, as they're already so close. Fish going around the back. But it seems as if they're stabilizing a little bit. Nobody reacting or communicating at all about the soldier. Seeming as if, I guess, Adrenaline took their headsets off, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no communication happening, and they're just kind of getting rolled right now.
Yeah, I mean, they need to really kind of communicate stuff right there. We just had a Mercy sit there and just get lasered down and not even turn around.
Yeah.
Until she was dead. Adrenaline really kind of falling apart here as K Fox BM spins around the water fountain. It seems as if Adrenaline's going to be going around here on the right, but Fish already in, distracting an entire tank on his own, still alive, versus a tank and a DPS. Bap already falls down with Immor up, surprisingly. It seems as if Chillfish is going to get another pick back here, melting down this Bastion player. But he gets healed back. Still alive. Manages to make it out.
Yeah, Chillfish is just all over the backline right now. Nobody's doing anything about it. And the Mercy's won again. He gets demolished.
A missed pin there, but a good shot nonetheless. As Chillfish goes back in with the Harmony Orb.
Oh, huge shatter.
Huge shatter, but only 2 of them
No
are alive.
follow-up.
Nothing really comes out of it with no follow-up there. As Reinhardt does fall down to Lucio again.
Beat was committed, and they just kind of insta-cap that. And then they're going to stagger the Mercy, which is going to be huge for them, and then there's nothing that they can do, really. This Lucio was just punching her to death just now. Bastion ult was committed, but instantly gets demolished. And yeah, this looks like it might just be a GG for the Adrenaline.
Although there still is hope, it's Overwatch that we are talking about. I don't foresee the major flaws coming out of Adrenaline here, coming out and still bringing them the win, as they have not even gone to cart. Still distracted by the flanking of Wildcats, as only 2 people sit on cart. They still can't seem to manage to get this to go.
Both healers dead,
fall down.
yeah. That's
Mario
just
gets this Tracer, and this is just going to be all said and done here, folks.
Wow. That was just a dominant performance from Fish.
And the Wildcats as a whole, but definitely, if I had to pick one MVP for the entire series that we've watched here, Fish definitely stood out as just an unreckonable force against this other team.
Yeah, Fish was just completely uncontested all game, and I think that's the ultimate downfall, is that there was no coordinated fire from the Adrenaline, and nobody did anything about anybody. Like, Fish, bro. Fish is crazy. Fish is actually insane. I've just got nothing else to say about it. Fish MVP, simple.
Well, it seems like Adrenaline has already rage left the lobby. So with that, I think it's safe to say that that was
A clean 3-0.
a clean 3-0 from Central. Adrenaline did put up a fight here and there, but it seems as if their lack of communication and lack of general awareness is probably what has done them in. It'll be interesting to see where they go in the rest of this tournament.
Or the rest of the season. Yeah. I mean, I'm just dumbfounded by the performance that Fish gave.
He didn't die once.
He died once.
He died once?
He died once.
I didn't even notice.
1v2ing both tanks.
Oh.
And he killed the Orisa. So I'm gonna lost for words. Fish OP.
But yeah, a very dominant Central 3-0. I gotta say, although I was not prepared for it, I did have a lot of fun.
I did too. I mean, that was
with you, Nato. And thanks to our amazing production team that consists of the man, the myth, the legend himself, Brandy G.
Rocket League's greatest player. Everything, literal god. And thank you to all of our sponsors. And we'll see you all again tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Have a good night.